see it right here. And lifelines can indicate length, quality, and disruption in life. Tingles with flyby. Daily ASMR videos. Hello. Thank you for coming to visit me today. I hope you find your experience both rewarding and informative. The art of palmistry goes back ages and ages, and it is part of that continuing heritage that we will draw upon today as I read your poem. First, I'd like to go through a few basics, just so you understand what we're looking at and what we can actually discern from within your poem. Also, so that you can draw your own interpretation. It's not just about what I see in your poem, but also about what you see. So I have a poster here of a hand, and this is a standard palmistry poster. So probably you've heard about your lifeline. It's this curving line around the meat of your thumb. See it right here. And lifelines can indicate length, quality, and disruption in life. We also have the line of the head going across here, which can indicate certain things to do with a profession or intellectual pursuits in life and the probable success of those things. Then, of course, most famous as well is the line of the heart, which can be indicative of relationships and what sort of success you may have in life in regards to romantic relations. Now, this line can also be used not just to foretell what must happen, but can be a warning of what could happen. And so it can be used in an educational sense to help guide your life in the direction you would like to go. So I think palmistry can be very beneficial in this way to help guide your life and make sure you can avoid potential pitfalls. We've also got the fortune line running across the middle of the hand. And this can tell you a little bit more about your economic future and foretell of bad or good times to come. There are a variety of other pieces in palmistry. Got the Luna, the War, and then you can see how your fingers are broken down. This is usually used for a more advanced reading, and we would use that more on a subsequent reading. Today is more for me just to get to know your poem a bit more, get the basic character of it, and look at those major lines. But I will just give you a little introduction to these other areas, just so you feel confident should you come into the future, and just so you can kind of see how the hand is broken down. So you can see in the fingers up here, every finger is broken into 3 segments. Got the first phalange, the second phalange, and the third phalange. And that's repeated for every finger. For the thumb, they actually have their own separate numbers. So we have a 1 and a 2. You have a 3 section, and there are various numbers, and Jupiter, Saturn, Apollo, lots of other things, but we won't go into that today. We're just going to go through a basic hand reading to find out the most important things. That's used more to discern finer detail, but we need a bigger picture first before we can really get into that finer detail. So now let's go ahead and we'll proceed with the palm reading. Okay, so what I need you to do is just to place your dominant hand into mine. Yes, just over here. And my hand should be relatively warm. I don't think it should be jarring for me to touch your skin. Okay, good. Always try and keep them at a nice temperature. I actually have a problem with getting cold hands, so it's something I have to focus on as a palmist. People don't want icy fingers touching their hands. So, just going to first just kind of rub across and feel the energy within your hand. Feel each finger. And we'll just circle around. I always just like to get an impression before I actually look down and see what I'm looking at. You can sometimes feel the grooves in a different way when you do it that way. Okay. And a very beautiful hand. So first, let's look at your lifeline. And so looking at the beginning, looks like there's a little bit of a short start. More, maybe if you had an illness as a child, yeah, okay, you know, I can definitely see that. Okay, and then, well, the lifeline is very long, very healthy, so I think you can expect very, very good health. That beginning is not indicative of the end. I think you should have a long and very healthy life. It's a very thick line. Just a beautiful lifeline, actually. Usually don't see them quite like that. It's just really grooved and deep. Do you see how it just has that really deep nature to it? Makes it very solid, and you can see more towards your wrist. It's a bit lighter and kind of darts off from that beautiful curve Yeah, that little darting off, that's what kind of gives a hint at that early childhood illness. Okay. So next, let's look at your headline. So we're moving up to this line, going across your hand, so you can see there. The line's probably a little shorter. Yeah, you can get it quite long. Yours is a little shorter. But that's not much of an indication of success or anything like that. It's more the thickness of the line, which you do have quite a deep groove in there. That's probably more indicative of perhaps early retirement, if that's something you're interested in, or it may be something you become interested in. See if this is where kind of the lines impact each other. So we should see a short headline, and if you had a little bit of a weaker lifeline, we might think that would indicate issues of health later in life. But that is not what that indicates to me. This is probably more likely in early retirement, spending some time sipping pina coladas on the beach and things such as that. So definitely not the worst indication. And it does just kind of trail off. So I'd anticipate you'll probably end up maybe involved in pursuits that aren't necessarily professional or at the top of the field, but are still very vital and important, such as volunteer work or helping others. And that can be a very rewarding, if a little bit less taxing way to go about your life. So yeah, we're getting a good look, that nice, I'm very taken with that lifeline. It's very probably one of the most beautiful lifelines that I've seen. Just simply gorgeous. I'm just very taken with it. Which, oh, no, that's fine. No, if you're skeptical of this sort of thing, it's a perfectly reasonable way to be. I take no offense to that. As you know, in all things Tingledom, the primary purpose of all things is to help you relax and just kind of take your mind off of things. But that doesn't mean that I won't give a genuine reading. If I see something concerning, I still will point that out. It's part of the code of being a palmist, really. So now let's look at the heart line. Now this one, so we're heading up the hand. You can see here. And trails. So it goes very, very strongly just off the side of the hand. And it makes me emotional to see something like that. I'd imagine at your age that you have found, yeah, well, you will have a very long life together. Be very beautiful. So that long lifeline isn't going to be by yourself. That's going to be with your love. And probably you found each other a little later in life. Yeah. Now we can see that it's a little kind of branching off at the first. Yeah, that sounds pretty much like what it indicates, but you're very happy in your current relationship. Yeah. Yes, that will be a nice, long relationship. So I'll look a little closer because you see something so amazing. You just want to make sure there's no pitfalls to be aware of. You can almost kind of see, if you have a look at your hand a bit closer, you can see how you have little grooves kind of right next to each other. That can kind of indicate when you get a little bit finer detail on where you can calibrate your line. You can start to see what that indicates, and you can actually read your relationship off there. So sometimes if they diverge a little bit, that can be not necessarily an emotional divergence, but indicate, if one person has gone on a trip to be away, and so, the two of you really missing each other, that physical distance. And then you can see them come kind of into parallel, or just be basically right next to each other. And you have a very, very touching relationship, I can see from this. Just very beautiful. It just makes me happy just seeing that. It's just beautiful. So now, do you want to have your fortune looked at? I don't always recommend it. Some people do better not to know. Okay. So this is going to be running up the middle of your hand. And, okay, so we have a little meandering line at the beginning, and then quite a big gap here, which is usually indicative of if you have a business or if you have a job and might get laid off from that. It's quite a large period of time. And so that's something to be aware of that may be in the future. So I really recommend saving up your money. Yeah, so this isn't indicative of kind of the amount of money that you have. It's generally indicative of the amount of money that you might have coming in. But if you can hit those leaner times with preparation, then you can carry on through them with confidence and preparation. And it does indicate, it doesn't stop after that. It's a gap, it's a large gap, but it does indicate that it will go on from there. But it is a bit shorter after that, so again, these are strong indications, probably for an early retirement or something like that. Yeah, so, are there any questions about those details that you'd like me to try and discern from within your hand? Yes, so if you look, we're looking for, so if you see these little branching areas right there, that's where I would suggest it indicates that you met your current love. Yeah. You can just see how the nature changes all of a sudden. Yeah, very indicative of that sort of relationship. But then you can see it's very consistent from there on out. There's those little differences in fine scale that you can make out. So if you see, yeah, we can definitely see that indicated there. Yeah, can you see that just tiny little branching off right there. But then do you see that really, really solid kind of parallel lines? Yeah, no, that's what indicates those events that you're referring to. And so as you can start to actually assign those events to the line, you can actually start to discern it yourself. It's very, very exciting. So, that is your basic poem reading. If you are interested, of course, we can try and meet again before you do leave Tingledom, so that we can look in some greater detail and look into some other aspects of your life. But I do thank you so much for taking the time. Even if you are a little skeptical, I hope you can see now that there definitely is some indication in your hand of what's happening in your life. And as I always say, follow the hand. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you for joining us for this week's Tingledom Tuesday. There's a new video in Tingledom every single Tuesday. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to Tingledom, be sure to hit subscribe, or else you may never find it again. I do a daily ASMR video, a different theme every day, so you can check out Map Mondays, Whisper Wednesdays, Food Fridays, and of course our Tingledom Tuesdays. Be sure to comment down below for your chance to be featured in my monthly viewers appreciation video on the 25th of each month. And have a